Did you think this is Japan? Actually, this is New York City.
We're at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden.
This very beautiful and special place is just down the street from our school.
We've always had very good feelings about Japan.
We really like a lot of things that come from there. Like Nintendo and Game Boy.
And our homes are filled with lots of Japanese products like Panasonic telephones,
Sony televisions.
lots of cool cars come from Japan. Acura, Honda, and Lexus. Because of all the good things that come from Japan, we always thought the United States and Japan had a good relationship. So we were really surprised when we started studying about it that during World War II, Japan and the United States were enemies.
We did some terrible things to each other.
We read that the United States was trying to stay out of World War II.
We were having talks with Japan about their fighting in Asia.
And then, without warning, the Japanese Air Force attacked our Navy at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii.
They bombed a lot of ships and airplanes and killed a lot of people.
The President of the United States, Franklin Roosevelt, said it was a day of infamy.
Infamy means being famous for a bad reason, for doing something really wrong.
And for a long time after that, a lot of American people did not trust a lot of Japanese people anymore. Some people even said when someone did something tricky or sneaky, they japped you out.
That saying, "japped you out," shows how angry people were about the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor.
But it also shows the unfair prejudice that some people felt towards the Japanese.
We were surprised to learn that thousands of American citizens whose families came from Japan were treated badly.
They were forced to move to work camps in California during the war.
Some of them had lived here for generations, but they were forced to leave their homes and jobs.
These families were guarded by American soldiers.
All because some people felt that they may turn against the United States
and try to help Japan win the war.
Other people spoke out against it.
They said it was prejudice against their race because they were Asian.
They pointed out that people from German and Italian families were not put in these work camps.
Even though we were also fighting against Germany and Italy in World War II.
They asked why these white people were treated differently than the Japanese.
In 1988, the United States government apologized to the Japanese Americans.
They said this was wrong.
I guess there was a lot of hate and fear after Pearl Harbor.
And that's when ideas of suspicion and revenge started.
The really terrible thing was that the World War lasted so long. Even when Japan was not winning, they still didn't surrender. So on August 6, 1945, the United States decided to drop the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan.
It was the worst weapon ever invented. When they tested it, the temperature of the explosion was estimated at 100 million degrees.
The wind from the blast was 500 miles an hour.
We went on the internet in our computer room to visit the Atomic Bomb Museum in Hiroshima, Japan. There's a model of the city before and after the bomb fell.
And there's not much left after. Over 200,000 people died after this one single bomb was dropped.
And what is really scary is that today we have weapons that are much more powerful than that atomic bomb. So, the main thing we wanted to learn from all of this is, how can countries prevent wars and cooperate like the United States and Japan do today?
We've been reading in the newspaper that Japan is an important part of the global economy.
Just recently, the New York Times reported that Japanese banks will forgive $500 million in loans to African nations.
All of that means that countries all over the world today buy and sell things to each other. And they borrow and lend money to each other so they can do it.
It is called being trading partners.
For example, the United States sells things like food and wood to Japan, and we buy cars and televisions from them.
The whole idea behind this is that one person's purchase is another person's paycheck.
If you want to sell something, your customers must make enough money so they can afford to buy it.
So if everyone could get a good job, they could save money.
Then they can spend it to buy what someone else makes.
It's like what goes around comes around.
We keep hearing that when we grow up, there will be much more international communication and cooperation.
Just last month, America's oldest astronaut, John Glenn, went on a space flight to do scientific research. Chiaki Mukai, a female surgeon from Japan, went on the mission too.
It would be really great if people all over the world got to understand each other better, like we do now with Japan.
And it's not just about love and peace.
Love and peace are great, but our history books show us that it's not so easy to achieve.
People should cooperate because it will make everyone's life better.
Everyone should have good jobs that pay them enough money to get the things they want and need.
And no one wants to risk destroying the whole planet with the powerful new weapons we now know how to build.
We should be smart enough to know how to never use them.
After all of our research, here is how we feel about the whole thing.
When you're working with big numbers, you'll be better off counting dollars than dead bodies.